You're listening to the Murder Speaks podcast, the show that spills the tea about true crime. Here's your host, Wendy Hinbest.
Hey guys, welcome back to Murder Speaks. Hope everyone's having a great week. So today's real crime story is about 33-year-old Tricia Todd of Hope Sound, Martin County, Florida. She graduated from South Fork High School, class of 2004, and went on to serve in the U.S. Air Force. During her military service, she was deployed to Kuwait and Iraq. She was also stationed in North and South Carolina. She was a nurse for Treasure Coast Hospice. She received her nursing degree from Central Carolina Tech College. She was a devout Christian and attended New Life Church in Palm Beach Gardens. Tricia met Steve Williams in high school, and they got married in the Air Force, but they recently divorced. April 27th, 2016, around 6 p.m., Tricia didn't pick up her daughter Faith from the babysitter. So you're planning to hang out with some friends or go to the gym, and you don't know what to wear. Even though your closet is full and your drawers are so stuffed that they won't shut, you feel like you have nothing to wear, and you're so bored of all of your clothes. This is why Crystal Kiss offers a wicked selection of true crime merch to bring your wardrobe to life. From hoodies, leggings, and t-shirts to joggers, crop tops, and tank tops, Crystal Kiss has you covered. Offered in so many designs, Crystal Kiss can make you stand out and feel dazzled. Make a fashion statement with Crystal Kiss. Check out crystalkiss.com today. The babysitter called her brother Jonathan and told him that Tricia didn't come to pick up her daughter Faith. Tricia's father was also trying to call her, but he couldn't reach her. So Jonathan went to pick up Faith from the babysitter, and then they called the police. Now Tricia was part of the Bible college community. The police went to her house to investigate. According to her brother, Tricia's vehicle was parked at the opposite spot where she would normally park her car. The keys were in the ignition, and her purse was left in the car, and her car was left unlocked, and things were just thrown across the seat, but there was nothing ransacked or out of the ordinary in her house. Police received surveillance of Tricia shopping the evening before she went missing, and she was alone. So the police looked into her ex-husband, Stephen Williams. He's a member of the Air Force, and he lived in North Carolina. He came down to visit Faith a couple of days before Tricia went missing. He told police that he had been trying to get a hold of Tricia, but he couldn't reach her. So he dropped Faith off at the babysitter and went to work. Investigators got a statement from him. Now everything he told police checked out. Police learned that Tricia liked to go to the beach and read her Bible. The beach was walking distance from her house. Law enforcement searched for her. They had airplanes, boats, dogs, and they had divers. They even searched the woods. Now police learned that she was infatuated with a man. He was a local performer in Hope Sound. She watched his videos on Facebook and sent him multiple friend requests. And she told her friends and family about him. Now he was due to have a show in Hope Sound, and Tricia knew that. So she planned to show up in a beautiful blue dress. She was going to go up on stage and sing with him and surprise him. So the police went to the show to see if Tricia would show up, but she didn't. At that point, they knew something was really wrong. Investigators talked to him. He said he declined her friend requests because he didn't know her. The police learned that Tricia confided in a pastor who roamed the beach close to where she lived. So investigators talked to him. So investigators started to worry that maybe he had a romantic interest in her. And he admitted to police that he was slightly attracted to her. Now when the police asked him why he was at the beach, he told them it was because of a turtle. As odd as that sounds. But the police were able to confirm that he was telling the truth. There was video surveillance. He was at the beach alone. Tricia wasn't with him. So he was ruled out. So the police focused on her ex-husband, Stephen Williams. 26 days after Tricia disappeared, the police gave him a polygraph test. At first, he didn't want to take it, which the investigators thought that was odd because if you have nothing to hide, then why wouldn't you just take the test and then rule yourself out? But in the end, he ended up taking the polygraph test, and it came back inconclusive. So investigators turned their attention to Stephen's girlfriend, Laura. They started dating before Stephen and Tricia got divorced. And investigators learned that Laura started sending Tricia threatening text messages when she got together with Stephen. The police talked to her employer and confirmed that she was in North Carolina the whole time Stephen was in Florida. If you're looking for true crime merch with a great fit and feel, look no further. Crystal Kiss has a wide selection of clothes to brighten up your wardrobe. I like to wear clothes that make a fashion statement and says something about me. Like, our true crime and chocolate design describes me very well. I love chocolate and I love watching true crime, so they go hand in hand. Our hoodies are so soft and can be paired with one of our true crime joggers to make a super comfy outfit. Our true crime t-shirts fits true to size and last several washes. For a night out, throw on a pair of heels with one of our true crime leggings and a crop top. Whatever you're doing, Crystal Kiss has you covered. You people in the US get free shipping when you order 3 or more items. You can also use discount code MURDER15, that's MURDER15, and save 15% off your entire order. Check out our wicked selection of true crime merch today at crystalkiss.com. Investigators learned that Tricia kept an online journal. It was called Beauty for Ashes, which was a quote from the book of Isaiah. The police also learned that Tricia and Stephen had a history of violence. He was psychologically abusive to her, and he killed her pets. I love my dogs. He put toilet bowl cleaner in their water. What a monster. The family had no idea. He cheated on her, but they got back together. Now, when Stephen went to Florida, he rented a B&B, and apparently Faith wasn't feeling well, so he texted Tricia to come. And he knew that no matter what Tricia was doing, she would drop anything to be with her daughter. Stephen told police that she came over and left a couple of hours later, and he just took a shower and went to bed. Investigators interviewed a neighbor, and he told police that he saw Stephen driving Tricia's car, but Stephen failed to mention that when they talked to him. Shocker. Investigators got surveillance and confirmed what the neighbor said. And while the police reviewed the surveillance, they saw a man who looked like Stephen walking down the street. Her brother Jonathan told police that Stephen called him and told him that he was going to pick up Faith. So investigators went to North Carolina and spoke to Stephen. Now Stephen knew they had him on video, so he changed his story. Now he told investigators that he found Tricia unresponsive, so he took her car and left. He said he took her body to some road and just left it there, but he was willing to go to Florida and help investigators look for Tricia's body. So he sat in the car with investigators. He was in the front seat, and investigators asked him where he drove, but he kept saying he didn't know. He couldn't remember. So investigators felt like he was playing games. So they went back to the house that he rented, and the police asked him, where was Faith when you were taking Tricia's body to wherever you took her? And he told police that she was in the house alone. So the police placed him under arrest for child neglect, and they continued to interview him. And eventually, he came up with another story. Then he admitted that he was there when Tricia died. He said they were having an argument, and he pushed her, and she fell. And then she was unresponsive. So he got in her car and left. So he panicked and dropped her body off in a place he can't recall. But then he agreed to take investigators to her body in exchange for a 35-year sentence plea deal. Now, Tricia's family went for the plea deal because they wanted to know where Tricia's body was. Now, after the fact, Stephen's attorney advised investigators that Tricia's body was in a Rubbermaid container, and it was filled with muriatic acid. Tricia had been dismembered. Now, if investigators knew that before, there would not have been a plea deal. It would have been a death penalty sentence. He played investigators. Now, he's only serving 35 years, and then he'll be free. What? Now, Stephen and his attorney got in the car and showed investigators where Tricia's body was. He knew exactly where her body was. He went there the day before her disappearance and dug a hole. This was all planned. He drove his vehicle from North Carolina with acid in the trunk. Tricia's remains were liquefied. Ew. What a monster. They found tools that were discarded in a nearby canal. These tools were used in the murder. So the sergeant called Tricia's mother and told her what happened to Tricia. Just awful. Then the United States Air Force got involved because Stephen was an active duty member of the military of their branch, and he committed a crime towards a veteran of their branch. They sent their own forensic team and they interviewed Stephen. And he told them what happened. He lured Tricia back to the rental place. He sent her a text saying that Faith was fussy and that she wasn't feeling well. When she got there, Stephen strangled her. But he decided before he killed her, he wanted her email, because he was going to write a fake email saying that she left on a mission or something. When she regained consciousness, she started screaming. So he hit her over the head several times. Then he choked her to death. He cut up her body with a chainsaw. And while he was doing all of this, their daughter was sleeping in the next room. What a monster. Then he took Tricia's body to the remote site in the Hungry Limb Preserve. He cut up her body with a chainsaw. Then he buried her remains in an acid-filled container. He said he killed her because Tricia didn't show him enough respect. He didn't want to pay child support anymore. He wanted full custody of Faith. And he wanted Tricia out of the way. He confessed to the Air Force, and he was very detailed. Currently, the U.S. Air Force is not pursuing charges against Stephen Williams. Well, what a story. That is crazy. He is truly a monster. And for everyone out there who knew Tricia Todd, I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode of Murder Speaks. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Toodles!